Okay guys, so I'm going to do a review of the Timber Creek Stalker. You've got two options when you buy the bow. You can either buy just the bow, or you can buy the bow with this roll-up case. Fully recommend buying it with the case. The case itself is a My Bow roll-up case. It's just got the Timber Creek stamp. It's very tough, it's very durable. Comes with the arrow tube, which is brilliant because you never want to look like a lunatic just carrying arrows with you. Okay, so case unrolled. As I said, it is just a My Bow roll-up case with the Timber Creek stamp on. Case itself, I do like the look of. I like the earthy brown, but let's get into what you actually get when you buy this bow. Everything is securely fitted. Nothing's knocking against each other. Ignore the brightly coloured bow stand because that doesn't come with the package. A really nice pocket sleeve with the riser inside. Limbs securely fastened. They're not going to knock together when you're moving this case about. Alright, let's have a look at the riser. So it's got a really nice black finish to it. It's cut to center. Simple bolt system to lock on the limbs. On the front you can attach a stabilizing rod if that's the kind of archery you're going to go for. I think what stands out about the riser is this. The Timber Creek stamp it pops so nicely with the whole black colour. The grip itself, it's not a bad grip. It's fairly standard grip. I can't really complain. You can shoot it for a few hours. It's not really going to be uncomfortable to hold. It is tapped, so you can put sights on. You can put a pressure button on if that's how you want to shoot. You can put a different type of arrow rest on. It's the beginning stages of how you want to shoot. The riser gives you plenty of options. The limbs. Simple limbs, blackout. Tiny bit of the wooden colouring, but they are just plain black. It's a colour scheme that does work for this bow. The limb tips are quite nice. They fit with the bow. It's black on black. Lower limb is marked, so you know which is where. Not bad limbs all in all, and they are very well protected while they're in the case. Very simple little pouch pocket here. Again, very tough. I mean, I've had this now probably 7 months, if not a little bit longer, and it shows no sign of ripping. I'm not really gentle with things like this. It's still very well secure. Obviously, what's in here, you're only going to get the Allen keys. You're not going to get the wax or anything else, but it's a good place to store them. The pouch, this is where all your goodies are going to be. Again, you're not going to get the pen, you're not going to get the glove or the quiver, but this is going to be where the strings are, where the little manual is. You also get beaver balls with this bow when you buy the whole package, and this is where you're going to be finding them. The My Bow roll-up cases in general are very well done. It is what you need for any real day of archery, whether you're going out shooting at the range, whether you're going out stumping. I've never ever been in a situation having a bag like this thinking, God, really needed something else, but I just couldn't bring it. Okay, so here it is. The Timber Creek Stalker strung up. It's nice. I mean, it's black on black, but it works. It works for this bow. Beaver balls already on. Nice little bit of colour. It is quite a short bow. It measures about 52 inches tip to tip when it's strung up. So if you've got a longer draw length, you're probably going to struggle with this. But for 28 inches, or thereabouts. It's so smooth to draw back. It is really, really nice. It's just nice to shoot with. There's really not a lot of bad things I can say about this particular bow. That being said, I do have a couple of little issues with it. Okay, so number one, the grip. Now, it's a very small complaint, but this is a Timber Creek bow. Timber Creek do the Cottonmouth, and the Cottonmouth has a grip that no one has complained about. In fact, it's one of the most prevalent things about the Timber Creek Cottonmouth. You pick the bow up and it fits everyone. Everyone seems to love holding this bow. So for Timber Creek to come out with a fairly stock grip, it's just something that nags at me. Personally, I like a nice, real low grip. This isn't really it, but again, I've had this bow for 7 months, so obviously it's not that big of a deal. And you can change it out. You can undo the bolts and put a new one in, but as far as I'm aware, Timber Creek themselves don't actually do a replacement grip. So whatever you put on is purely aftermarket, and it's not really what Timber Creek wanted. Secondly, and again, this is just personal preference, and I know I've said that the black on black works, but I would really love it if they had some options of putting a bit of colour into it. Yes, black on black works, but the only real colour you're going to get with this bow is the beaver balls. Again, very nice, earthy colour, very grounded. But when you look at the actual catalogue of Timber Creek bows, some of them are so brightly coloured, some of them are so beautifully done. It makes me question why they didn't have a flair to it. You can have the black on black. I know the Cottonmouth, again, going back to the Cottonmouth, it does have the cheaper version is black, and it's black and grey. And again, it looks very nice. But then they also have the deep, rich red colours, and I believe it's the Diamondback have bright greens and bright oranges. So the fact that they have this, the Timber Creek, which only really comes in black and black and black, I don't know, it annoys me a little bit, but only a little bit, because this is still the stock string. This is still the Dacron string that came with the set. So if it was that much of a big deal, I could just change the string. I mean, I've got a little bit of colour here for my knocking point, but you know, if it was that big of a deal, I could put things on it. I could colour it up a little bit. It is just a personal preference that's just a little bit niggly that I can't do it before I actually buy the bow. The main question is this bow worth the asking price? Now, you buy it from Merlin Archery, links all down below. It's about £150 with the bag. Again, if you haven't got a roll-up bag, if you haven't got a case or somewhere that's really good to store your bow, then pay that little bit extra, buy the roll-up case. Is the whole thing worth £150? It really is. It is. I mean, for all them naggly little bits that irritate me, there's really nothing major that puts me off of this bow. It is really nice to shoot. It's a really nice, clean, smooth drawback. There's nothing in the way of stacking here. The bow itself is tough. It's well made. Despite my flip-flopping opinion of colour, it does look nice, and it gives you options. Options are always good in archery, particularly when you're starting out. So, an option of sights. It's always good to have that option, particularly when you're new to archery or you're branching out into a different type of archery. I've not got sights on, I shoot instinctively, but I can put them on. I have that option, or I can put a bow quiver on. I could put arrow rests on. I might decide tomorrow morning I'll wake up and I'll think, no, I don't want to shoot off the shelf anymore, and put on an arrow rest. I can do it. And I can put on a pressure button. I can put on a stabilizing rod, whether it's a short rod, whether it's a long rod. Now, if you're going to go to your archery range and if you're going to shoot down the archery lanes, maybe this bow isn't going to be as good as the Pulse. There's one of my earlier bows was the Core Pulse, and it was the shortest version I could get was 64 inches, tip to tip, strung up, big long target recurve bow. That bow will probably shoot more efficiently than this bow, but then this bow isn't the Olympic standards. This bow gives you a little bit of everything, barring compound shooting, obviously. The size of the bow means I can go into the woods and go stumping. I can, and also do, go to the archery club and shoot in the archery field with people shooting compound bows and target style archery bows. I can put a stabilizing rod on. If I was going to go somewhere where bow fishing was legal, I'm pretty sure because of this bow size and because of what it gives you, I'd be able to bow fish as well. The bow gives you everything you need. So for a beginner, this bow is probably one of the best out there because it doesn't force you into one particular style of shooting. The Core Pulse was a brilliant bow, but it's a target style recurve. That's what it's designed to do. Now, this is probably classed as a field bow. I really like field bows anyway, so obviously I was going to get on with it. But it's not just designed for going through the woods and shooting trees. You can shoot it on a target range and get some really good shots with it. Again, we go back to, is this bow worth it? Yes. I mean, there's no real argument you can put forwards that would make me think £150 is better off going to another bow. It looks nice, despite my opinions on its colour. Black on black works for this type of bow, and it does look nice. It feels good to shoot. It's very smooth draw. £150 for this bow. If you never buy any other bow, this will do you. And what you get for your money, realistically, you're not going to be spending a lot of money anywhere else for the rest of your archery days. Okay guys, well I hope you found this video helpful. Links to Merlin Archery, where I got the bow, will be down below. They do loads of different draw weights. It's definitely worth checking out. Thanks.